I want you to do something right now that most people never do. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and picture the day you never have to work again. Not because you are sick, not because you are forced to stop, but because you choose to, because you have enough, because the money is working so that you don't have to. Now, I want to ask you one question. Do you know what that day looks like financially? Do you know the number, the exact number that makes that day possible? Not a rough guess, not a lot, not more than I have now, the actual number. The figures that sits in an account somewhere and generates enough income every single month that you never need to trade your time for money again. Most people cannot answer that question. Not because they are bad with money, not because they have not talked about it, but because nobody has ever shown them the formula. Nobody has ever said, here is how you calculate your number. Here is how you work backwards from the life you want to exact amount you need to build. Today that changes. By the end of this video, you will know your number, you will know your timeline, and you will understand exactly whether you are on track or what needs to change if you are not. Welcome to Nobody Told Mike. I am Mike, ex-director across the Big Fours. This channel exists for one reason, to have the financial conversation nobody has with us growing up. Everything in this video is for educational and entertainment purpose only. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing here is financial advice. Your retirement planning depends on your specific country, your tax situation, your income, and dozens of other personal factors. Please do your own research and consult a qualified financial professional before making any decision. Now, let us find your number. When I was working inside Big Four, earning good money, working long hours, surrounded by financial expertise, I had never once sat down and calculated my own retirement number. Not once. I knew about pension contributions and I knew about investment accounts. I understood the theory of compound interest maybe better than most people on the planet. And I have never done the one calculation that actually answered the question every working person carries around with them every single day. Am I going to be okay? I remember the first time I actually did a calculation properly, with real numbers, my numbers, not a generic example from a textbook. My actual income, my actual expenses, my actual investments. Two things happened simultaneously. The first, I felt genuinely shocked at how achievable that number actually was with the right system in place. The second, I felt genuinely angry that nobody had shown me this calculation 15 years earlier. Because here is what I discovered. The most people massively overestimate how much they need to retire. And simultaneously, they massively underestimate how much their current spending is costing them in years of freedom. Those two miscalculations keep most people working for longer than they need to. Today, I'm going to fix both of them, for you, with a formula so simple you can do it in your head. The 4% rule, the foundation of everything. Everything starts here. One rule, discovered by a financial researcher named William Bengen in 1994, tested against every market condition in modern history, still standing 30 years later. The 4% rule. Here is what it says. If you have a diversified investment portfolio and you withdraw no more than 4% of its total value in the first year of retirement, then adjust that amount for inflation each year after. Your portfolio will statistically last at least 30 years, possibly forever. Let me say that again because it is the most important sentence in this entire video. If you withdraw 4% or less of your portfolio every year, your money will last at least 30 years. In most historical scenarios, it lasts significantly longer. In many, it could actually grow. This single rule is the foundation of every retirement calculation that actually works. 4% withdrawal equal portfolio lasts 30 plus years. Bank tested this against every 30 years period in the US market history, including the Great Depression, the 1970s stagflation, the dot-com crash, and the financial crisis. In every single scenario, a 4% withdrawal rate preserved the portfolio. This is not a theory. This is 30 years of evidence across every market condition in the modern history. Now here it's where it gets personal and simple. If 4% of your portfolio needs to cover your annual expenses, then your retirement number is simply your annual expenses multiplied by 25. This is the entire formula. Annual expenses times 25. Let me show you what this looks like with real numbers. So, if you need $30,000 a year to live the life you want, of course, just comfortably, not extravagantly, your retirement number is $750,000. In case you need more, $40,000 a year, your number is $1 million. And if you can live well on $25,000 a year, your number is less, $625. Look at the table for a moment. Because for most people, the numbers that represents their financial freedom is bold, more specific and more achievable than they imagined. The key insight is this: your retirement number is not fixed. It is a direct function of your annual spending, which means every euro you reduce your annual expenses by reduces your retirement number by the 25 euros. So, spend 1,000 less per year, your retirement number drops by 25,000. Spend 5,000 less per year, your retirement number drops by 125,000. Spend 10,000 less per year, your retirement number drops by 250,000. Your lifestyle choices are not just spending decisions, they are retirement timeline decisions. Every unnecessary expense is not costing you money today. It is costing you years of freedom at the other end. Now you know your number. The next question is, how long does it take to get there? And this is where index fund, compound interest, and everything we have covered in this series comes together in one single picture. 3 things determines how quickly you reach your retirement number. Number 1, and maybe the most important one, is how much you invest each month. Number 2, your average annual return. Number 3, how long you stay invested. Let me show you what these 3 numbers means with real number. I will give you a real example. Let's start with scenario A. You invest 500 per month, 8% average annual return. You start at age 30. You will reach 750,000, enough for a 30,000 annual income at approximately age of 57. So that means it takes you 27 years. Now scenario B, you invest more. You invest 1,000 per month. Same return, same starting age. You will reach 750,000 at approximately age of 47. So 17 years a decade earlier, from doubling your monthly contribution. In scenario C, you invest less. You invest only 500 per month, but you start at age of 25 instead of 30. So you reach 750,000 at approximately 52 years. 5 years earlier than scenario A, simply from starting 5 years sooner. Look at what that tells you. The 2 most powerful levers you have are not investment strategy or fund selection or timing the market. They are how much you invest each month and when you start. These 2 variables, contribution amount and start date, determine your retirement timeline more than anything else you will ever read about in a financial book. Now, here is what I want you to do after this video ends. And I mean today, not someday. Step 1. Calculate your actual annual expenses. Not what you think you spent, what you actually spend. Add up every direct debit, every subscription you have, every regular purchase across one full month and multiply by 12 months. Most people are surprised, usually unpleasantly. Step 2. Multiply that number by 25. This is your retirement number. Step 3. Go to my website NobodyToldMike.com and download the free tool that I built. Put in your current investment amount, your monthly contribution, and your expected return. It will show you exactly when you hit your number, based on your real figures, not a generic example. Step 4. Look at the date. If it is earlier than you expected, feel the motivation that it gives you and continue and stay consistent. If it is later than you hoped, do not feel discouraged. Use it to identify which lever to pull. More monthly contribution or start earlier. Both are within your control. That 4-step process takes less than 30 minutes. I think about the version of me sitting inside the Big Four offices 15 years ago, working long hours, earning reasonable money, surrounded by some of the most financially sophisticated people in the world, and having absolutely no idea what my own retirement number was. Not because the information was not available, because nobody in my world ever sat down and said, "Here is the formula. Here is your number. Here is exactly how long it will take you to get there." That conversation changes everything. Because once you know your number, investing stops being abstract. It stops being something you do because you are supposed to. It becomes something you do because every single contribution is moving you measurably closer to the specific date on which you will never have to trade your time for money again. This is video 6 of Money 101, What Nobody Told Us series. If you have not watched the first 5, ETFs, compound interest, index fund, how to buy your first investment, and what to do when market crashed, they are all linked in the description and in the Money 101 playlist below. Watch them in order. Each of them builds on the last. 2 things I want to point you before you go. The first is the free retirement tool I built at NobodyToldMike.com. I built this specifically for this moment. You can use it after you know your retirement number and you want to see exactly when you will reach it based on your real numbers. Link is in the description below. The second is the Nobody Told Mike community at NobodyToldMike.com. This is where people at every stage of this journey come together to ask questions, to show and share their numbers, to hold each other accountable and remind each other why they started. Join us. It is free. The link is in the description. And now, the question for this week, and I want a real answer. Did you know your retirement number before watching this video? And now, what do you do? Does it feel more achievable or further away than you expected? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one and I will reply to everyone. See you next week.